You're always so busy with that job of yours. A quiet understanding settles over me, heavy and clear. My words emerge gentler than I intended. You never invited me. You made certain I couldn't join. The silence that lingers feels like an admission of guilt. This isn't new, is it? I press on, the truth unfurling like a slow ache. All those family vacations I only heard about after they happened. Holiday gatherings planned for when I was conveniently tied up with work. The pattern weaves through years I hadn't dared to examine. Mom steps closer, her hand reaching out. Sweetheart, you're blowing this out of proportion. Let's talk this over calmly. I set the cruise itinerary on the hall table. Without a raised voice or a slammed door, I grab my duffel bag and step into the cool evening. My mother's voice calls my name as I walk away, but for the first time in 28 years, I keep going. Half an hour later, my apartment feels unnaturally still after the scene at my parents' house. I drop my bag on the sofa and sink to the floor, legs crossed, surrounded by old photo albums and keepsake boxes I pulled from the depths of my closet. The rough carpet grazes my skin as I arrange them in a half moon around me. The first album opens to Christmas 2018. There's Harper, tearing into a sleek MacBook box. Cody, grinning beside his first car, used but worth a small fortune. And me, holding up a clearance rack scarf from Target, price tag dangling. My smile in the picture looks real. I thought back then it was all they could manage. Flipping through vacation snapshots, a truth I'd ignored for nearly 3 decades comes into focus. Yellowstone trip, sorry Rain, we need someone to watch the house. Disney World, your internship's that week, don't you remember? Napa getaway, it's not really your thing, dear. My phone hums. A message from Mom, we need to clear up this confusion. If finding proof of intentional exclusion could be misread, I mute the phone and pull my laptop closer, opening a spreadsheet labeled Finances. Scanning the entries, I mark every payment sent to my parents. $350, April Dad's insulin prices spiked. $1,400, June hospital bills for Dad's diabetes. $800, August, Mom's car repairs. $2,800, last month, family emergency fund. That last one stings most. My Lake Tahoe savings, painstakingly earned through extra freelance gigs, skipped meals, and late nights. Money they took while clutching cruise tickets with everyone's name but mine. A memory surges up, sharp and unbidden. I'm 7, watching Harper's vocal lessons while I doodle at the kitchen table. Can I try piano lessons? I'd asked Mom. We can't swing lessons for both of you, Rain, maybe next year. That year never arrived, but Cody got guitar lessons soon after. More memories flood in. Age 13, crying over the kitchen table when I couldn't join the 8th grade science trip to the Oregon coast. 400 is too steep right now, Dad said, his hand on my shoulder. Weeks later, he and Cody went on a father-son camping trip that cost double. In college, I juggled 3 jobs while my siblings' rent and car insurance were covered. You're so self-sufficient, Rain, Mom would say. We know you've got this. My phone rings. Harper. I pick up, despite myself. Rain, you're being absurd. You're upsetting, Mom. I found the cruise papers, Harper. Her voice shifts, practiced. It's not what it looks like. We planned to include you, but Mom figured you'd get it. You always do. Those last words linger. You always do. Not this time, I murmur, hanging up. In my bedroom closet, I retrieve a small box from the top shelf. Inside is a sealed jewelry-making kit, identical to the one I pleaded for at 9. Mom had called it too pricey, then bought Harper another American Girl doll days later. I purchased this kit last year on Etsy for $35, keeping it unopened as a quiet reminder, though of what, I couldn't name until now. My phone pings. Cody, this is nonsense, Rain. We've always had you in our plans, notch. Then another, you're overreacting, notch. Then fine, how much to drop this? The doorbell chimes. Through the peephole, I see Melissa, my college best friend, holding takeout and a bottle of wine. She's seen me race to fix every family crisis for years. Thought you could use backup, she says as I let her in. You look rough. Just found out my family's been leaving me out of everything my whole life, I say, aiming for light but falling short. No big deal. No big deal, she echoes, then wraps me in a hug that nearly undoes me. It's about time you saw it. What? She pulls back, eyes steady. Rain, I've watched you pour everything into your family for years. Last Christmas, you spent a month's pay on their gifts and got a pair of socks back. They lean on you for cash, child care, everything. But when do they show up for you? Her words land like a stone I can't dislodge. My phone lights up with a voicemail from Dad. Your mother's heartbroken. You're acting ungrateful after everything we've done. I let out a hollow laugh. Everything they've done. At work, my colleague James brings me coffee after noticing my distraction. My parents played favorites too, he says softly. It makes you feel like you're the problem. That afternoon, in Dr. Eleanor Warren's office, my therapist for 6 months, I recount the crew's discovery. What I'm hearing, she says gently, is a lifelong pattern of exclusion. This isn't typical family dynamics, Rain. I always thought I was too sensitive, I admit, my voice small. You weren't. Now you get to decide what comes next. Back home, surrounded by proof of years of uneven treatment, I make a choice. I text Melissa, I'm done being their fallback. It feels like a vow. 4 days later, my phone buzzes again. Uncle Jerry, someone I see twice a year at reunions. His voicemail sounds scripted. Rainey, your mom's beside herself. Families fight, but you can't just vanish. Call her. I block his number and sip my coffee. Mom's rallied the extended family. Yesterday, Aunt Patricia called. Before that, Cousin Megan. All echoing the same refrain, forgive and move on. Family first. You're overreacting. The doorbell rings. Through the peephole, Dad stands there, clutching a paper bag, shifting nervously. For a moment, I almost open the door. We haven't had a real talk in years, just surface chatter about his health or the weather. Now he wants to talk? I step back. After 20 minutes, his car drives off. Later, I find a bag outside with my childhood favorite cookies and a card in Mom's handwriting. We need to talk. I miss you. At work, an email from Harper lands copied to mutual friends. So worried about Rain. She's acting erratic, avoiding family, ignoring calls. Please let us know if she's okay. We're concerned about her mental health. I forward it to Dr. Warren. Subject, Exhibit C. Her reply is swift. This is called flying monkeys, a tactic to protect the family system. On Thursday, Tara from reception texts me a heads up. Cody's in the office lobby. I grab my laptop and slip out the back, but he's waiting by my car in the parking lot, arms folded. You can't dodge me forever, he says, his face carrying that familiar self-righteous look from childhood when he'd pin his messes on me. I'm not dodging. I'm choosing not to engage. I grip my keys tightly, though I know his anger is all bluster. You're destroying this family, he says, voice rising. Mom can't sleep. Dad's glued to his phone. The kids keep asking for Aunt Rain. I laugh before I can stop myself. I'm destroying the family? I didn't book a cruise without you. It wasn't like that. We thought, what? That I wouldn't notice? That I'd keep funding your vacations while you left me out? His face flushes. We planned it for 8 months. Mom thought. 8 months, I repeat, the timeline cutting deep. 8 months ago, I canceled my Lake Tahoe trip because they said money was tight and they needed my savings. A flicker of guilt crosses his face, quickly buried. You always help out. It's who you are. The parking lot blurs as a truth crystallizes. I wasn't family to you. I was the safety net, the bank. That's not true. It's not fair, I say, stepping past him to my car. But it's true. That night, I call my cell provider and change my number immediately. Family issues? The rep asks. Exactly, I say. Say no more, she replies. The new number activates within the hour. At the bank, I close the joint account my parents have accessed since college. 17 withdrawals last year, none mine. I transfer the balance to my personal account and order a new card. When Harper's anniversary party invitation arrives, I write, unable to attend, and mail it back. The family 4th of July picnic gets the same response. I set up an email filter, thank you for your message. I'm currently unavailable.is. Each step feels like a breath I've been holding too long. That evening, I browse a travel agency site, entering my credit card for a round-trip ticket to Barcelona. Gaudi's architecture has called to me for years. When the confirmation loads, a smile reel full spreads across my face. From under my bed, I pull a box of childhood mementos, photos, report cards my parents never hung, ribbons from events they skipped. I slide it to the closet's top shelf, not discarded but no longer in my daily view. At the jewelry store downtown, I try on a silver pendant I've coveted but always deemed too lavish. Its weight against my chest feels grounding. I'll wear it now, I tell the clerk. In therapy, Dr. Egger. Warren notices the necklace. This isn't about revenge, she says. It's about claiming what's always been yours. The next week, an unknown number calls. I almost ignore it, but answer. Rain? Harper's voice is frantic. Your number was disconnected. I had to track you down. The babysitter bailed, and we're still on the cruise. Can you watch the kids tomorrow? It's urgent. I'm unavailable, I say, echoing my RSVP responses. I'm unavailable. I hang up. At lunch with Melissa, another call comes. Cody, stressed. My car is shot. The shop needs $800. Can you send it? I'll pay you back. I'm unavailable, I reply, ending the call. 3 days later, while booking a Barcelona food tour, Mom calls. Her voice wavers between anger and desperation. The mortgage is due tomorrow, and we're short. Your dad's medical bills were high this month. We just need a little help, like always. I watch a video of La Sagrada Familia, its intricate towers soaring. I'm unavailable, I say. Silence stretches. Then, in a voice I barely recognize, she asks, What do we do without you? The question lays bare a truth they've never faced. They rely on me far more than I need them. You'll figure it out, I say, ending the call. I gaze at the cathedral's stone forest, counting the days until I walk its halls, alone but not lonely, carrying only what I choose. A week after their cruise, my phone buzzes with the 23rd message of the day. I glance at the screen, another plea from Mom before silencing it. Their Alaska trip is over, and their messages grow more desperate. We need to talk. HD Dad's blood pressure is soaring because of you. Just tell us you're okay. My pulse stays steady. James, my coworker, notices. Family still hounding you? Like clockwork, I say, focusing on my design project. They used my vacation money for their cruise and expected me to shrug it off. He shakes his head. And they thought you'd just let it slide? They thought I'd forgive it, like always. That evening, Melissa hands me a glass of wine on my couch. Harper called me. Said she's shelling out for childcare since you disappeared. I sip, surprised by the absence of guilt. Poor her, paying for what everyone else does. She also said your mom's planning a family crisis to pull you back. I laugh, loud and sudden. Of course. Crisis is her currency. The next morning, another unknown number. Aunt Deb, voice shaky. Your mom thinks you're having a breakdown. She asked me to check on you. The manipulation is almost amusing. I'm fine, Aunt Deb. Better than ever. Then why aren't you answering anyone? Your dad brought up teaching you to ride a bike. I smile, recalling his voicemail about the bike lessons he never finished. He pushed me down the driveway and walked away when I fell, calling it building character. Harper, meanwhile, got his steady hand the whole way. Tell them I'm unavailable, I say. Days later, Harper texts, The kids miss Aunt Rain. Max cried for you. Max, who barely knows me, who called me Rain Lady last Christmas. Cody's text turned sharp. Mom and Dad are tiptoeing around you, but I'm not. Some sister. My car payment's due Monday. I skip Uncle Pete's annual barbecue, a first in 15 years. Cousin Jamie calls. Your empty chair was like a ghost. Aunt Susan made excuses, but when Dad asked why you weren't on the cruise, it got awkward. Aunt Catherine was livid, said she'd never leave out one of her kids. Your mom left early, claiming a headache. I smile, glancing at my apartment's coral walls, once beige, now mine. My promotion letter sits framed, earned after reclaiming evenings from family demands. My savings grow without constant loans. My Barcelona trip is booked, a promise to myself. Tuesday evening, the doorbell rings. Mom stands there, soaked from rain, eyes swollen. My finger hovers over the lock, old instincts kicking in. I open the door but block her path. Rain, she sobs. Thank God, we're gonna lose the house. The second mortgage. Your dad's bills, please, just this once. Her hand reaches for mine, expecting surrender. If I were the one desperate, I ask softly, would you take me in? Her mouth opens, then closes, wordless. Her silence speaks louder than any excuse. I nod and shut the door gently. 2 days later, at Bellini's, the hostess leads me to my family seated at my favorite booth, under the stained glass window where we celebrated my college graduation, the one time the spotlight was mine. Melissa grips my arm as we slide in, her presence a shield. Mom's smile is fragile. Right on time. Dad clears his throat, formal as if addressing a stranger. We're glad you came, Rain. Harper glares at Melissa. Though you could have come alone. Cody leans in. Let's move past this mix-up. The family's not whole without you. They speak in turn, their words polished. Dad lists the braces he paid for at 12, the used car for high school. Mom dabs at dry eyes, voice trembling as she paints herself the martyr. I clutch the manila folder, its weight grounding me. Their words blur, but one truth stands clear: this isn't about love. It's about keeping me in my place.